I enjoy beating Australia, mate. I enjoy beating Australia. Well, it was not to be just. Fortunately, it is with the Wallabies getting out of jail against the Brave Blossoms, 19-15 in Tokyo in rain-soaked conditions. I've got Nathan Williamson by our side. The instant reactions are back. We are here. We are back and ready to roll. Nathan, how you feeling?
Oh my god! I just want one easy game where I can just kind of sit back, cruise. I don't know, maybe not have 3 of the 4 heart attacks within an 80-minute period. Goodness me! That's a tense one, but a win, and that's all that matters.
A win is a win. We will take it in any way, shape, or form. I think it's kind of the epitome of that. I must admit that. Let's just dive straight into it. I just thought to myself, the moment that Lukan Salakaia-Loto got injured, I thought, oh no, is it going to be one of those again? And lo and behold, it was. Just thinking to myself, seeing how important he is in terms of the leadership group, how important he is in terms of that side. And then when Josh Canham got injured, I went, oh, is it one of these again? Are we going to be cruelled by injuries again? Sweet baby Jesus, this is cruel.
I'll do you one better. As soon as I heard that anthem, I was like, I think.
Oh yeah, the anthem.
We heard that. We're like, oh shit, this is gonna be.
She was putting some swagger on that anthem, and it was weird.
it just not right. And yeah, this entire performance just wasn't good. But in the sense of 19-15 win. Conditions were tough. They were not built for Australian rugby. And the strengths we have in our outside backs and getting Tool and Peach involved and really spreading the ball. So we kind of found ourselves just sort of kicking. But Jesus Christ, Japan, credit to them. They threw everything at us in the last 20 minutes and we just found a way to win.
I do have a theory. This is a really stupid theory, but it's a theory nonetheless, that the anthem dictates how the Australian side will play. I genuinely believe it. And I think, I'm going to say it on record now, every single time that the person singing finishes high with a high note instead of a Advance Australia, I actually think when we finish with the high note, the boys win.
This is like our haka. We need to finish the anthem.
Yes, we need to finish the anthem with a fucking high Advance Australia, something like that. Like get fucking blast it. Jesus Christ. That's my theory off the back of this fascinating anthem experience that we had in Japan. But look, I digress slightly. Should we talk about some positives? Because there are positives from this game, despite the tense scoreline. First up, Nick Champion de Crepney. Performance.
What a man.
Best performance in gold by a country mile. I mean, granted, it's only his 3rd or 4th test match, but boy looked hungry. He was up for this one, which was phenomenal to see. Scored a try, produced probably a contender for hit of the night against the Japanese. I think it was like 15 phases, and then out of nowhere, he just absolutely levels this guy, and they lose the ball. Huge effort from him. Who kind of stuck out? Who's kind of stood out to you?
I mean, I agree with the Champion de Crepney take. Like, you can see why he was made captain, because as soon as he took on that leadership, he just lifted 3 or 4 rungs. And the fact that he stayed captain when Harry Wilson came on pretty early in the game says everything you need to know. He was great, but if I'm looking for a player of the match amid the conditions, Jake Gordon.
He played well.
Incredible. He went the full 80 minutes. Kicked the living daylights out of the ball, but a lot of those kicks were real positive ones in the sense of getting us into half-decent territory. His play with 2 minutes to go to sort of run the classic Nick White cut line where you just intercept the out the back ball or just put enough pressure on it so Hunter Paisami, who was also great, and Hamish Stewart could intercept that and get a turnover. Great. That killed the game. Even the way he's just sort of managing the ref towards the last 60 seconds, kind of taking the time, looking at Ben, Ben O'Keefe had a Ben O'Keefe game. That's all I'll say on the matter. But it was very much like, all right, now I can go. Is it time? Was that person onside? now I can go. Just control it. Just amid all the inexperience and the sort of changes that came from that squad that rolled out the last Bledis, though, he was one of the key factors that sort of got Australia there in the win.
Yeah, absolutely. I reckon Jake Gordon's the reason why we won this game. As much as I think De Crepney played really, really well, and a lot of people that we'll get to had to put in shifts and did really, really well. I think he's the reason we won it specifically. That and Hamish Stewart, who that penalty, I nearly destroyed my desk with Thump when he pulled off that penalty in the 78th minute to get us in that position. Speaking of good pairings and good backline combinations, I thought on a night where the Japanese defense really, really kind of came out and showed up and really cut through space, I thought Hunter Paisami and Josh Fluke actually played a really good game as a centre pairing for the Wallabies, like a decent, legitimate centre pairing backup option for Lenny Ikitau and Sue. Like it wasn't the same, and it kind of, I think it was also tempered by the conditions somewhat. But I thought both of them together played well. I thought Hunter played a lot better than against Argentina when he was partnered with Suolihi. But I thought these two yielded some really decent results, which was a big positive for me. One of the biggest.
Hunter's great. You just got to stop the dumb offload.
He stopped but he stopped the offloads. He did one or two.
There was 2 or 3 that were bad. He just like, dude, just hit the ball up and just recycle next phase. Go again.
It was better than against Argentina. It was better than against it was better here than it was against Argentina.
That's a very low bar, Nick.
I know. It's true, but it was.
Yeah, both those. That's the thing with these changes is there was still a lot of club combinations out there, and I think that showed particularly in that midfield. Even when you extend it to sort of Edmund, Jordan together with the Waratahs, the Crepney and Cesano, and Williams was a little forced trio, like Nongo and Josh Nasser, who I think Josh Nasser was good around the park. Just this is going to sound weird to me saying it. Josh Nasser was good at everything. I think he was good every bit around the park except for his role as a hooker.
Except, I thought the line out was a dog's breakfast, but I mean, he can't necessarily be helped by that. But
and in terms of being a hooker, that's probably the toughest situation you're going to be in with 2 second rowers down, wet ball. Look, that's near impossible. But again, had some good involvements early. I'm trying to think who else stood out. I mean, credit Jeremy Williams. The only second rower left, and he just sort of kept working. Another guy who was brutally unlucky the entire night. Carl Design.
You beat me to him. Yeah, beat me to him. Speaking of false players. 3 tries denied. 3 tries denied.
Look, the third one, that's fair enough. I can say that was choose your own adventure in terms of what penalty would you give there. The first 2, you really didn't have a camera angle to show that, because it felt like in the running you could see the ball hit the ground, but any other angle just didn't show it.
The first one was a try. It's like,
come on, guys.
Throw me a butt. Yeah, and then it didn't help as well. Like when the Japanese scored their second try, that like it sounded like TMO said, there was a knock on in the process, which just, even though it was eventually proved, I think it was that it was a knee in the end and it wasn't like an actual hands. It just, it just made you go like, are we going to get dudded here again?
Yeah.
It just felt like that. I will make one final shout out. Aiden Ross making his debut finally off the bench in goal, becomes the 5th player to play for both the All Blacks and the Wallabies. So something worth shouting out there. And I think he did okay. He did all right. It wasn't necessarily a big performance, but I mean, like, he held his own in the scrum, and in circumstances where Zane Nongo had to play big minutes, coming back onto the side after Tom Robertson probably got the hit of the night.
He got folded.
It was a phenomenal hit by Aero. And I will shout out, this is my final positive. Japan's defense was phenomenal tonight. Japan's defense kept them in the match in that first half. They should have been down. I mean, off the back of those Tizano, tries. Australia dominated the metrics for pretty much the entire first half, and Japan were only down by 11. Like, that gives you a sense of the quality of the defense here. That was something that I was very, very impressed with. And as much as it pains me, I was like, well, credit where it's due. That the defense was phenomenal, and then they were able to flip it up in the second half. But I reckon those are the key positives here. The fact that they also that these players, despite the many changes and combinations, despite giving some players some minutes, this would be a very critical experience in the broader context of this tour. Like, these minutes will hopefully prove incredibly beneficial, not just by the players who aren't playing on the field who are getting a rest, but more importantly by the players, the players off the field, but more the players on the field who are actually in that pressure cooker sort of circumstance, actually delivered a result and came through with a win.
Yeah.
But there are so many concerns after that result. If that was against Italy in 2 weeks' time, I think we'd lose that game, to be honest, because I rate Italy as a better side than Japan at the moment.
Yeah, but would we be in that situation against Italy? The reality is, let's look at the people who are on the sideline tonight: Jorgensen, Suoliti, Tom Hooper, Lenny Katau, Will Skelton, James O'Connor. Plus,
there's a lot.
These
guys have got to stand up. When you've been given your chance, it was like, would I say? Yes, they showed ticker, and of course they earn another shot in Wallaby golf for another week. But this was a tough one. The side kind of really started to fall away in the second half. Both, I think, due to fatigue, but also the fact they were lacking a few leaders, a few players were injured. There's concerns there. If I'm Joe Schmidt, I'm worried a little bit.
Again, that team's going to change drastically for England. I'd be more concerned if this is going to be the most obvious statement ever. I would be more concerned if they lost that. But I think there's going to be enough changes in terms of people coming back and potentially when you get Ikitau back, if not next week, the week afterwards, Tom Hooper, James O'Connor, you could have thrown this out as an Australia A side, and people would have probably been like, yeah, that's fair. This was Joe called it a calculated risk after the game, and this was so in terms of concerning. I wouldn't even say concerned. I wouldn't be concerned. But some of the decision making in that first half, when they were twice with down players, didn't really make sense. There are two that I will get on. Yeah. Firstly, when it is a wet ball, I understand you have to try and decode somebody else. Why? And this is a wider Australian problem. Why do we throw to the back? It is so tough to take a line out, and all of a sudden, we try and make it even harder.
With the line out not working as well.
Yeah. We had a dominant rolling ball. We didn't stick to it enough. And then when they go down to 14, we should have been looking for a scrum or some kind of thing, 5 meters out to at least expose the numbers. We can't just let's just keep hitting it up and see what happens. You have a centre out. Josh Fluke and Andrew Kellaway's run to set up Josh Fluke goes through essentially the channel that Charlie Lawrence is not in anymore. The hole was there. It shouldn't have taken us 9 minutes to go through that. Again, and this is the sort of big thing for me, and this isn't a Joe Schmidt problem. This is again a thing which has always happened with Wallabies. It is playing down to your opposition.
Yes.
Every single time we play a weaker side, it feels like we play down to them. Look, it's easy to say this now. With hindsight, we could have very much been 21-3 up, and then all of a sudden you're blowing teams away, but we weren't. It felt like we got to 14-3. We had the denied try and then the turnover when we had 30 phases on their line. And then that moment, instead of, all right, let's just regroup, try and get the try, it almost was a sense, oh no, they're now coming at us. What do we do now? And we get ourselves to a stage where instead of being proactive and trying to defend a lead, we just sort of went, how long's left? 6 minutes? All right, let's just kick it that way. How long's left? And just got really passive.
Yeah.
We had so much success in the Rugby Championship when we would just proactive and take the game on. But
they were very passive.
It's But like in the grand scheme of things, we're complaining about a win.
Yes.
In the 70th minute, I would have been like, nah, just give me the win. I don't care. I don't care what happens.
Yeah.
Because this could have been really bad.
It could have been.
Imagine if Eddie Jones got the win.
It would have. I reckon it would have. I was thinking, actually playing the scenario in my head. What would happen if Japan left this stadium with a victory? Like, what would it do for the Wallabies World Cup calculations? What would it do for like what the next couple of years looks like? What would it do for because this is one of those couple of wins, like this one and the Italy one, are ones that they have to win. Like, there is no excuses here. You must win this one. And I just was thinking scenarios here on the significance of this if they were to lose, which made me shit myself.
Yeah, same here. But hey,
shit myself.
I guess we'll never know.
We'll never know. Let's not talk about the fact that we nearly lost the game in a match where we won. We can celebrate the fact that the Wallabies did in fact get a win. It's true, we did. It's a result that we, the boys' ticker still showed through. There were still decent results, and I think that in the broader context of Joe Schmidt saying there's going to be a lot of rotations, there's a lot of fatigue concerns right now in this squad. These guys are playing 15 test matches, which is a huge amount of rugby against high quality opposition in a single year. You've got to rotate those players, and this is the game where you have to do it in that scenario, and they still got a result. That's what matters. So, as much as we could go down a rabbit hole of it, there's no point because the result came through. We have the win. But there are now a lot of concerns going into this England game. And let's start with the obvious ones, which are, I just thought myself, for fuck's sake, 2 locks out inside 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, what sort of injury luck is that? Like, fuck me dead. Like, it feels like I've been in this situation before. Jeez Louise. When Lucan Salakaia, I was really, really excited for Lucan to absolutely blitz it this game. I think, he's kind of had such a strange 2025. He's been injured, but then when he's taken chances, not in the Wallabies, again with the Lions, he was excellent. He's had the chance. He had the chance to really kind of be a solid enforcer to fill that massive Will Skelton-sized hole when Will's not around. And I was really excited for him to put in a good performance. And then when he did that massive run up in the early, inside the first 5 minutes, I was like, oh, here we go. He's on. And then he didn't get up. And then he was clutching his rib. And then I went, oh, shit. So we don't know, any indication on what he's got so far. There's him, and then, of course, Josh Canham getting knocked out cold 15 minutes later. And he was playing really well as well. That's the frustrating part too. Canham comes in and proves himself quite a capable backup option for Salakaia-Loto, and then he gets injured as well. And it's just like, well, fuck me.
Just like, oh, shit. Of course. All the positions.
Yeah, it was so frustrating. But, do we know anything about what's happened with either of them?
I mean, that's the thing with these instant reactions, right? Is we're doing it before we know. Before Joe's faced the media in Japan, and we're probably not going to know until that update comes out. I'm guessing Sunday, Monday. You have to look at the team. Nick Frost comes back, so those two start, as in Frost and Williams, the law firm. Off the bench, who's your other options? You've probably got to bring Darcy Swain. Seems like he's next up.
Yeah, Swain comes in. It has to be the opposite one. I mean, Tom Hooper, but he's not available. Is he available for this match, or is he?
It's a win. It is a win. So I don't, because it's outside. So for context, it's outside the Regulation 9 window where teams are mandated they must release players, but we are playing England, and Tom Hooper being an English club, they're going to release all their players who are linked to England. Is there a little gamesmanship there where the sort of England football body go, nah, sorry guys, it's outside the rules, our hands are tied, and just play little games with it and say, no, sorry Tom, sorry Len, you're not available. If that's the case, maybe someone like a Sarah Uru comes over. Matt Phillip or Angus Blythe. I'm trying to think who.
It would have to be. It's a big concern. Like who would be the next option? I think it would have to be Uru or Phillip. That would be my first thoughts. Based on previous experience.
Okay.
Just
you bring Swain in. It's just a.
Who was in the Australia A side? It was Swain and Uru and Canham, and he's injured now. God dang it!
Yeah.
I'm going to literally get the Australian A side up and see what other lock options there were. Hang on, who was it? It was
it's
Darcy Swain
right now.
Yeah. It's literally Swain and Phillip. It's literally Swain and Phillip are the other options. So it has to be Swain. It has to be Swain, and it has to be Phillip. Assuming, if Skelton is unavailable, so you'd probably assume that one of those two would probably drop out when he comes back.
Well, I mean, you can almost just replace Sal Carlotto, guys. If Sal Carlotto's out, whether it's a broken rib or if he doesn't make the trip over, you just call on Will Skelton for the last 3 games. But bring Swain and probably one of Phillip or Uru over just to kind of, Swain to. Trying to think who'd Swain replace, or just why not? Just have another person over. Just have another lock over there. Because I felt like we were light on locks to begin with. When you go to that squad.
With the 4 options.
With 4 options, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But, the other big concern is Tom Robertson, who, as we mentioned, got absolutely folded. It was a phenomenal tackle. I will watch it out of sheer enjoyment with the full context of knowing we still won the game. I will take that to the bank and enjoy it. There are other options. Fortunately, the prop stocks are looking pretty solid. Tupou is in the mix. Aiden Ross is still there.
It's on the tight head side as well. So, that essentially, Alatoa and Tupou come straight in. It's not an issue.
Yeah. So that one's not so bad. Fingers crossed. Obviously, you just assume that he would just miss the England game and so then be available for Italy afterwards. So that's not too bad in terms of an option for from a props standpoint. But other than that, I think that's I think it's just a real question about the locks and the questions here. Tane Edmed I thought did okay, particularly when with Hamish Stewart coming on in support. I thought that it kind of came through all right. I kind of understand the decision to leave Carter Gordon behind, but I'm very curious how the fly half is going to go. The fly half options next week at Twickenham. That is a big challenge to take on the English at their home turf. It's good that we have Gordon there as a good option in the halves, as a decent head and experienced option there at our disposal, because it is very, very light in the half pairings, which is a big worry.
Well, yeah, that sort of 10 situation feels like we're just sort of waiting to get to Europe, and then you get James O'Connor over. That sort of sorts itself out then. So, yeah, I'm not as concerned. Hamish Stewart was covering 10 at the end there. I doubt he. I feel like following Joe's trends, he always wants a player to have a week at a minimum inside camp before they get into whether they're a new player or a returning player from injury. He wants that full week. So, Carter comes back against England. I'll call that now.
Yeah. The only other option is that if they do follow the gentleman's agreement and Hooper can come back in, then surely by extension James O'Connor can come back too.
Wait and see, right? Because, you have James O'Connor at Leicester, who's coached by Jeff Parling, the Wallabies' former assistant, who essentially 2 coaches on, Leicester's head man was Steve Borthwick, who is the England coach. So it's divided loyalties. I think it was Steve Borthwick. I might be talking on my ass.
Let's find out.
Am I talking on my ass? No, I'm not talking on my ass. Yeah, it was Steve.
Yay! We'll add it to the tally of Nathan not, in fact, talking out of his ass on an instant reaction podcast where we have to think on the fly.
I do that enough as it is.
Yeah, but look, all up, I think a win's a win. I think that's the best way to kind of describe this result. We'll take it. It's good that it wins a win with several key individuals, set to be rotated in. I'm very curious about what's going to happen with in terms of the fullback position with Kellaway. That was a big shift from him. Harry Wilson, similarly, big shift from him. It's good that you've got someone like Kyle Tizano also available there. I thought Zane Nongor also, big shift from him after Robertson got folded. And of course, Jake Gordon as well. So there are still some players in those key positions that we probably will need to keep a watch on in terms of options. But all up, we can breathe now, Nath. We can breathe. Don't know what you're talking about, mate.
One of these days, I'm going to have a heart rate monitor on as I'm covering these games, just watching these games, and just see.
We should do that.
No, I want the heart rate. I'm putting a camera on you. having sat next to you for some games, you're a camera person.
Yeah, I'm a camera.
I don't
person.
react. I just sort of bottle it all up. You, on the other hand, different story.
Yeah, no, I can't hide it. But I've never been able to hide it. My face tells you exactly how I'm feeling. I do not hide it. I've never have. I'm terrible at hiding it. It's the truth of it.
100%.
At least all you would be entertained. You'll be entertained. That'll be the fun part of it. So, apart from Nathan, who will be fearing for his life.
We don't speak about the Brumbies game. We don't speak about the Brumbies.
All right, I reckon that wraps us up. Good pod, good instant reaction. We have a win over Eddie Jones's Brave Blossoms to kick us off on this end of season tour. Thank fuck.